Yo guys, this is Blur here, and today I've got another video for you, and this is the $1,000 gaming PC build. As you've noticed, I have passed the $900 gaming PC build, and the reason of that is because we've already done one, and I think $900 is not really in this right area. I think $1,000 is like the perfect amount of money you need for a build. I think $1,000 is more than enough for a gaming build and a editing build. This should be able to handle editing really nicely and gaming really nicely. So let's get straight into this build. For the CPU, I chose the i5 660K, clocked at 3.5 GHz. It's an awesome CPU. It is overclockable. It's the new Skylake system, and it's a really nice overall CPU for editing and gaming. I don't think you need to go to the i7 unless you're doing really crazy editing. This should be able to handle 4K rendering and editing with ease. For the CPU cooler, I just went with the simple Cooler Master Hyper 212 Evo. It's an awesome CPU cooler. It handles overclocking pretty well. It's quiet and it's a really nice looking CPU overall. For the motherboard, I chose the ASRock H170 Pro. It's a really nice motherboard. It's got all the bells and whistles you need for it. It's a nice looking motherboard as well. It's not one of those weirdly ugly colored motherboards. It looks really nice and it will suit this build. For the memory, I chose two 8GB sticks of Hyperfury X Black DDR4, clocked at 2133 MHz. It's really nice RAM. 2100 megahertz is more than enough speed. You don't need huge amounts of speed, and 2100 megahertz is more than enough. And 16 gigs is more than enough for gaming and editing. It's probably a bit over the top for gaming, but it will help if you want to do editing as well. For the storage, I chose one OCZ Tryon 240 gig SSD. That'll be perfect for holding all your games, your main games anyway, your OS and other applications like editing applications and all that. As well, I added in a Western Digital Caviar Blue 1TB hard drive for all the other things or games that you sort of play sometimes, but you don't want to waste your SSD storage for that. And now for the main part of the build, I chose the Gigabyte GeForce 1070 G1 Gaming graphics card. This is an awesome new graphics card. The 1070 can handle 1440p and even 4K, so if you want to play some 4K games, it might not do amazing, but it can definitely do 4K and do amazingly at 1440p. It's an awesome all-around graphics card. It's got 8GB of VRAM. I don't know if it's the DDR5X or if it's just DDR5. I'm not sure if it's the X VRAM or not, but it's a really good graphics card anyway. And then for the case, I chose the NZXT Source 210 with the window on it, so you can see all the nice looking stuff inside your case. It's overall awesome case. NZXT makes really high quality cases. Now for the power supply, I chose the 500 watt EVGA 80 plus bronze certified power supply. Now this is not your most expensive power supply, but I don't think you need anything more. The graphics card is a very low power. This 500 watts is more than enough for this build. It's 80 plus bronze. EVGA are really good for their power supplies, and I don't think you need, unless you really want to make your PC look better, you could upgrade to a fully modular or semi-modular to make your PC look a bit nicer. But honestly, if you don't want to waste that extra money, I would just get this power supply, as you do not need more than 500 watts. Lots of people spend money on power supplies and get 800 watts, 1000 watts when they don't even need it. It really annoys me because they could be spending on something way more important. The power supply is important, but the watts is not as important. If you just make sure when you're making this build, check how much watts it's going to use, and don't overspend on the power supply, because you might be buying a 700 watt power supply but you only need 500 watts, or you need less than 500 watts, so don't just make sure you're not spending too much money on your power supply, as it's not very important. Unless you want to make your PC look a bit nicer, you can go for the semi-modular or fully modular power supplies. So that's one of the reasons people buy it. I can understand that if you want to make your PC look a lot nicer and cleaner, but you can still always make your PC look nice with a normal non-modular power supply. So it's really just your preference, I guess. If you want to spend the extra money, you can. But anyway guys, this is the build overall. I hope you guys enjoy this video. This build will be perfect for gaming, definitely perfect for gaming at 4K, 1440p and 1080p amazingly. I don't know if it does a really good job at 4K, but I'm pretty sure it can play 4K. And 1440p it should do easily without a doubt, and 1080p it should do amazing as well. And it should do really nice at editing. If you want a middle ground PC, I would suggest going for this. But anyway guys, thanks for watching. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, peace.